Orange Cheeto Man. Orange Cheeto Man. He's been acquitted again. Again, I don't know how he keeps doing this, man. He's the first president in United States history to not only be impeached twice, but to be acquitted by the Senate twice. Okay? It's quite extraordinary, to be honest. Let's look at the article very quickly. This is from the Guardian. Okay? So you can see it says down here, the Senate failed to achieve 2/3 majority needed to convict. Right. So when we're talking about the Senate, the United States Senate, what does that mean? That means 67 out of 100 senators needed. OK, so they didn't get 67. They got close, though. They got close. Right. Closer than you might think. So here we go. Let me zoom in for you. Maybe you can read that then. The 57-43 vote was most bipartisan support for conviction ever, all right, in a presidential impeachment trial. And they were coming out and they were saying like, oh, well, this is, it's still a victory. It's still a victory because it's the most bipartisan impeachment ever. Yeah, but you didn't get a conviction. I've never heard of a lawyer walking out of a courtroom and saying, that they got a win after they didn't get a win. But anyway, we all know this is a clown show. It's a theater, so let's go along with the play for now, okay? So the result, which was never in doubt, really, you don't say. I'm astounded by this. I'm astounded that this is even written in the article because, I for the life of me, I'm certain everyone knew Trump was going to be convicted in the Senate, right? He's going to end up in Guantanamo Bay tomorrow morning. Everyone knew this. Wait, so you're telling me this whole thing was a waste of time again? Really? No. Why would the Democrats ever do such a thing like that? Why would they waste time? Like they just got Biden elected, right? Buildbackbetter.gov. Biden is here, the savior, right? They just took back the Senate, barely. They've got the House. Why would they waste time on a guy who's not even in office anymore when they had 4 years and a lot of other reasons going? It's weird, right? It's weird. Knowing full well that he's not going to get convicted in the Senate. And you have to keep in mind, this is not a criminal case, right? It's not like he's going to get punished or something. The best they can hope for is that afterwards, if they had gotten a conviction in the Senate, they would go and then try to prevent him from being able to run for president again, right? And they're even saying right now, well, it's not so bad because, Trump could still face civil and criminal charges. Well, why the fuck did you waste everyone's time then? Just if you have grounds for criminal and civil charges, I mean, because it's a theater. Anyway, let's continue. Yes? The results, which was never in doubt, reflected both the still raw anger of senators over Trump's conduct as his supporters stormed the Capitol last month. Now, here they're trying to give you the drip about your new heroes, right? So just like they've been doing with Liz Cheney, the daughter, the demon spawn of Dick Cheney, who's responsible for untold amounts of suffering and destruction, and he and Bush should have been impeached. Here, they're trying to do this over here. So among the Republicans who broke ranks were Richard Burr of North Carolina, who's the scumbag who's doing insider trading. Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, Susan Collins of Maine, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, Mitt Romney of Utah. Mitt Romney, yes. Ben Sasse of Nebraska, and Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania. Great. So remember these names because the Democrats are going to make a big fuss over them for the foreseeable future, okay? So as I said here, Trump was the first U.S. president to be impeached twice and is now the first president to be twice acquitted. If convicted, the Senate could have voted to bar him from holding office in the future, but this decision paves the way should Trump want to run again for another tilt at the White House in 2024. So again, that's the best you could have gotten out of this, right? And it begs the question. I mean, it begs the question, in the middle of a pandemic, yes, in the middle of an economic crisis, How many Americans are under or uninsured right now? 33 million. It's nearing the 40 million. I mean, we're talking catastrophic figures here, right? They still haven't given you the checks. Why would Democrats ever waste such valuable, precious time on such an endeavor? I mean, what's the goal here? You just want to stop him from running in 2024? And now here's what you'll hear, right? You have people come along and say, hey, man, you have to hold him accountable. It's for the principle. You have to hold him accountable. Okay. Where the fuck were you the last 4 years, you fucking asshole? Where were you when he was the president? When you could have actually done some shit? If you are so concerned, right? Where were you the last 4 years? Because believe me, I can assure you, abuse of power, which is what they got him for in 2019, this phone call with Ukraine, and this right now, high crimes and misdemeanors, that pales in comparison to all the other shit that he was doing when he was president. Okay? It pales. So just to refresh, just to jog your memory a little bit, right? In case you've forgotten, right? If you're so concerned with Trump's bad behavior, I'm sure you would not have forgotten any of the things I'm about to mention, right? Concerned citizen. Yes, this is by Mehdi Hassan. Again, I lower my shoe a little bit. Just slightly. Because he does some good things from time to time. He does. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Anyway, look, so over here, this, for example, this, by the way, Mehdi Hassan, he didn't write this now. This is from 2019. This is around the first impeachment, right? So the article is called The A to Z of Trump Impeachment. Look, just for Amazon alone, right? Trump has personally and repeatedly instructed the Postmaster General to double shipping rates for Amazon in an attempt to inflict billions of dollars of new costs on founder and CEO Jeff Bezos. So, I mean, again, we're not going to cry for Jeff Bezos here. That's not the point. But, you know, the president holding an office of that caliber, you know, as a public servant, you can't be meddling in things like that. That's just, it's unacceptable. Bigotry, right? I'm not going to repeat these things. You know what he said. What I'm particularly concerned with, emoluments clause, of course, but what I'm particularly concerned with, look at Syria. Okay, we go down to Syria over here. Less than 3 fucking months after entering office in April 2017, Trump launched airstrikes against Syria without a vote in Congress. Right? So ever since Bush and Dick Cheney passed the War Powers Act, right? I mean, we can't give them all the credit. It was a bipartisan effort, right? It's always bipartisan when it's war and corporate handouts. So they got the War Powers Act in 2001, 2003 to attack Iraq, to invade Afghanistan. They're still there 2 decades later. And they've been using that as the legal framework ever since, every president, to do whatever the fuck they like. And they're not allowed to do that, of course. But that's what they've been doing. All of them. Obama, Trump, now Biden. That's what they've been doing. Okay? So Mehdi Hassan is a great list over here. He includes Yemen as well, right? Same thing. He dropped bombs without congressional approval. And again, this is a point I always underscore this. Even if Trump had congressional approval, that doesn't mean anything. The U.S. Congress does not have jurisdiction over the planet. It doesn't matter if every single senator and every single congressperson votes to go to war. It doesn't mean you have the right to go to war. It's still a crime of aggression. It's still illegal under international law. You can't just do whatever the fuck you like. Okay? Unless you think America is the world police and you believe in American exceptionalism, then that makes sense in your brain. But nonetheless, just we're talking, by the book, the U.S. book, could have impeached him just for that alone. There's so much on this list. I mean, emoluments clause, right? Profiting while in office. It's really extensive. When did the Democrats give a shit about that? Why do they care just now? Bear with me, man. Calm down. Bear with me. Could it be that this is all theater? No. Why would the Democrats do that? Are they really so malfeasant? Could they really do such a thing? The Democrats, they're angels, as we all know. Why would they do that? It's not like they want to fuck you over and neglect workers as they always do. And it's not like they've gone back on every single promise, right? I mean, they couldn't even keep their word for $2,000 checks. What makes you think that these people are so, of such strong moral fiber that they would be appalled to such an extent? And again, I think the worst aspect of this, the worst aspect of Trump being acquitted, it's not that the guy's escaping accountability. If you wanted to hold Trump accountable, you would have held him accountable a long time ago for a lot of other shit that is way worse, way fucking worse. Okay? You still could technically, right? They're going after him right now when he's out of office. They're not doing it for anything that I just mentioned, for the whole list. Yeah? So the worst aspect here is not Trump getting away and escaping accountability. The worst aspect here is they're going to fucking milk this dry, man. They are going to milk this bitch till the end of days. You know it. You fucking know it. This is perfect. This is a great outcome for the Democrats. You know why? It's a great outcome for the media as well. Because now they can keep on with this narrative that, oh my God, look, Trump, he escaped accountability. This is going to embolden and galvanize his base. Oh my God, they're coming for us. Quick, we got to pass some new domestic terror laws. If you open your mouth about AOC, you are a Nazi. It's going to fucking snowball, and you know it. If they'd actually convicted him, they would have shut the fuck up maybe about it and just put it to bed, right? I mean, they would have found something else, of course, but they would have put it to bed. No, we're going to keep hearing about this. And we're going to keep hearing, oh my God, maybe he's running in 2024. They're doing it right now. They're still doing it. Where is this indication that Trump wants to run in 2024? Like, can you show me a shred of evidence from him or from his camp or from his entourage, son entourage? Can you show me a shred of evidence that he wants to run in 2024? Or is that just bullshit? Are you just fear-mongering? Are you just keeping on with Orange Man bad for the next 4 fucking years? Oh my God, they just don't stop, man. They just don't stop. This is theater. This is bullshit. You elected Joe Biden. I mean, if you voted for Joe Biden, my condolences. You must be feeling pretty cucked right about now. If you voted for Joe Biden, you were thinking, oh yeah, man, we're going to restore unity and dignity and healing, hashtag healing to the White House. And, he's shitty, but like, he's not stinky like Trump. He's not that bad. Oh no, you could argue he's way worse. That motherfucker has been in government 50 years. 50 years, man. He's been crawling around that cesspit in Washington, D.C. He's been jerking off his friends left and right on both sides of the aisle, reaching around, doing favors. He knows everybody. Everyone knows Joe Biden, and Joe Biden knows everyone in town, right? He's as corrupt as it fucking gets. He's an architect of the system that gave you Trump. So if you think you elected some fucking saint, you better think twice. And he's showing it to you already in the first couple of weeks that, we're going to give more priority. His entire party is going to give more priority and more attention, and the media as well, to Donald Trump, who's not even in fucking office anymore. Not the checks, not healthcare, not COVID relief, not actually fixing, all the crap that Trump did, which they said they were going to fix, right? They kept telling you, oh my God, look how he's mismanaged everything. He's reckless. Oh my God, the country is going to, he's going to drive it into the ground. We have to elect Biden. Oh my God, I know you don't like him, but we have to elect him because look at what Trump is doing. What the fuck is Biden doing? Why are we still talking about Trump? What is going on here? What is this? Where are the checks? Where are the fucking checks? Where's the money, Lebowski? Where is it? Where is it? How can you look, man? People constantly compare what's going on right now, the economic crisis, the pandemic, to World War II. They say, oh my God, it's like the Great Depression, something of enormous grandeur, right? Something of a huge caliber, extreme proportions. And what does that mean? What are they implying? It means you need action. You need a solution also of such proportions. This is not it. If you're concerned with fixing all the shit Trump did, you would not be wasting time over this. I can assure you that. This is another excuse to fuck you. This is another excuse to fuck you. That's what it is. That's as simply as I can put it. They're wasting time. They're dragging their feet. They told you $2,000 checks out the door, right out the gate. Okay? That means we understand there's a sense of urgency. No, they don't. No, they don't. To them, the sense of urgency is Trump, right? And now it's going to always be Trump. They're always going to have this in the back of your fucking mind. Like, careful, the orange man is going to come get you. Orange cheetah man. his supporters, they're out there. Yo, where are the checks? What are you doing about the millions of unemployed? What are you doing about the millions without healthcare? What are you doing about the people that are under fucking sanctions, dragging your feet? This is unacceptable. This is absolutely unacceptable. So take it as you will, man. Take it as you will. Me personally, I think if you're going to hold Donald Trump accountable, by all means, please do. But how about you actually do it for some shit that, first of all, has caused way more suffering, is way more serious. One of them being Syria, one of them being Yemen. These are just a few examples. And more importantly, would actually have a higher chance of getting a fucking conviction in the Senate. Isn't that smarter if you really want to hold them accountable? No. What did they do? They picked the mildest crap that was guaranteed to not get a conviction. Let me just remind you something real quick. Let me just remind you something, because I think this is very important for perspective, for context. This is Nancy Pelosi in 2019. Okay? 2019. It's not long ago, man. It's a year and a half ago. 18 months. Look at what she's saying in 2019. Nancy Pelosi. She's being interviewed over here. All right? So, Speaker Pelosi, you resisted calls for the impeachment of President Bush in 2006 and President Trump following the Mueller report earlier this year. This time it's different. Why did you oppose impeachment in the past? And what is your obligation to protect our democracy from the actions of our president now? And then Pelosi says, thank you for bringing up the question about, because when I became speaker the first time, I'm not going to do the whole thing. She says, when I became speaker the first time, there was overwhelming call for me to impeach President Bush on the strength of the war in Iraq. You don't say. No shit. Which I vehemently oppose, she says. And again, I said again at other places, Christ, I can't even read. She's fumbling so much. I can't. Who transcribed this? Whoever transcribed this should be impeached. Listen, she said at other places that was my we all has always PH in challenge. Okay, I was ranking member on the Intelligence Committee even before I became part of the leadership of Gang of Four. So I knew, pay attention, so I knew there were no nuclear weapons in Iraq. It just wasn't there. Let me repeat that for you. Nancy Pelosi saying, I knew there were no nuclear weapons in Iraq. All right? They had to show the Gang of Four, all the intelligence they had. The intelligence did not show that was the case. So I knew it was a misrepresentation to the public. But having said that, it was, in my view, not a ground for impeachment. She says they won the election, they made a representation, and to this day, people think that it was the right thing to do. What is she babbling on about in the last sentence? I don't know if you can make that out because it's out of frame, but she says if people think that Iraq had something to do with 9/11, I mean, it's as appalling what they did. And I've said if somebody wants to make a case, you bring it forward. What gibberish is that? Okay, gibberish aside, she is still saying in 2019 that she has no regrets about impeaching Bush. And in the same breath, she says, yeah, but I know he lied. Not like conjecture or, speculatively like, yeah, I know he lied. It's George Bush. No. She's saying, I saw the intelligence and there were no nukes. That's the level of I knew he lied. Okay, she had the fucking briefs. She was briefed on the shit and she knew he lied and didn't impeach him when she became speaker afterwards, a few years later. So someone please, for the love of God, rationalize this for me, please. How can you impeach Trump 2 fucking times, but you let Bush go? How does that make sense? In what world, in what universe does that make sense? If you're all about accountability, if you're all about holding people in power who assume the highest office in the land accountable, surely you must not be okay with this. Surely you must be fucking fuming that she would do this. And it's the same woman. We're not talking about, it's the same party and, there's a double standard with the way they operate. No, it's the same woman and the same party. And this is just a few years ago. And she has no regrets about it. In what universe does this make sense? Could someone please explain that to me? It makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. These people my point here is that these people, Nancy Pelosi, her party, because again, she's saying this in 2019, not back then. She hasn't changed her mind. She's still saying this. These people are not interested in justice. Do you get that? So this is a fucking theater. This shit with Trump, it's a theater. If they were interested in justice, they would have gone after Bush. They would have gone after every motherfucker in his administration. Dick Cheney would be in a fucking jail cell right now. That bastard. Those two men, they are responsible. I mean, look, they went wild after 9/11. The entire world that we live in now, this post 9/11 world, was crafted by that administration predominantly. Okay? By the neocons. And every president since, Obama, Trump, Biden, you know, sure, you can find some differences here and there, but generally, they're just continuing the shit. Don't kid yourself, man. Stop being a fool. Stop being a fool. You seen any of them close down Guantanamo? You seen any of them cut the surveillance programs? You seen any of them repeal the tax cuts? You seen any of them cut the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq? No, they done nothing but expand every single thing I just listed to you. And I know there are people who say, like, yeah, you know, they joke that, oh, well, Biden is like the 10th Reagan administration. Yeah, okay, fine. But I think Bush and Cheney, the Bush administration, is really a milestone. It's really, you know, a line in the sand when you had a huge a shift, not just in the US, but worldwide, right? We talk about a post 9/11 world, and that was crafted by them. And these motherfuckers, Pelosi, Biden, who were there at the time, they were in government, they let them get away with it. They fucking let them get away with it, and they still do, and they would do it again. So don't come here and tell me that they care about justice. These people are fucking clowns. They're actors. They're corrupt. And the only thing that they're doing is running theater now because they're not interested in helping or, you know, helping the working class, doing anything that they pretended. It's all bullshit, man. They even shorted you on a goddamn $2,000 check. What do you expect from these people? Like, I mean, don't give them the benefit of the doubt. They're scum. They're scum. I mean, this woman, I don't know how she can say that out loud, but this is horrendous. She has no shame, truly. So, you know, Orange Cheetah Man, honestly, you know, good riddance, but, you know, now we have to tolerate the man who orchestrated the system that gave us Trump. How is that any better? Is it any better? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's the same shit, different day.